Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. Ooh, we are at the last day of 2025. We've got about 6 hours left if you're on the East Coast, we've got about 6 hours left before we move into a new year, 2026. And this year was long. It was really, really long. Um, Everything from personal to business to political to everything in between, over, under, sideways, all the things. This year was long. And I know there are a lot of other people who feel the same way that I do. And I know we say every year that we're going to do things differently. We're going to not go into the new year with old things. And, you know, I don't really subscribe to the whole, it's a new year and it's going to be new things and, this sort of stuff. I am more looking out for well-being. And I think that's something that I really haven't done the way that I should, just in life in general. Just looking out for my well-being, my family's well-being, and then the close friends that I keep in my very close circle. I have realized over many years now that people who you thought were close to you, people that, and they could even be family, and the friends that you grew up with, and, just people from your past that you thought were solid, may not be the solid folks that you thought they were. Maybe you are that person. Maybe you are the person that you're realizing you weren't as solid as you could be for other people. I definitely can say that I have experienced on both sides. So I know for me, I am going to do a better job of checking in with people who have always checked in with me. And I'm going to not do the things that I used to do in the past, and that was be petty. And I really haven't. Maybe in the last 10, 15 years, I'm not like a petty sort of individual at all. When I feel something moving in a way that I don't like, I usually pluck myself out of the situation. I exit stage left real quick. I don't like to sit in negativity. And, I've been learning as I read up on all this, stuff about well-being and taking care of your health. And, I read up the other day, I think it was a neurologist, said that, negative thinking and negative vibes, or however you want to say it, keeping negativity around you actually deteriorates your brain. It actually triggers things that will move your brain into dementia. And I'm thinking to myself, whoa, our mental really does affect our physical. And if you're not in a great mental space, it will affect your physical very much. And you have to pay attention to that. And I think I'm definitely going to put more energy into paying attention to that going forward, you know? And I think that, I'm not so much of a person that, oh, now it's a new year, let's all turn over a new leaf. I really never been down with that. Not for the past probably way over a decade. I've never really been like that, but I will say that when you are going over into a new year, it is a great reset for the brain, you know. It's a great reset for your spirit. And everyone is kind of in one accord where that's concerned. Even if you don't have people who do major changes, some people just, the new year comes in and it's, just like the day before, and that's okay. If all you did this year was survive your circumstance, whatever that was, and you came through on the other side, that is amazing. And don't let anybody, make you feel bad. People on social media, they're achieving all these things. You see all these videos of people recapping their 2025 and what they did and how they did. Listen, I had a whole recap video ready to go. I was capturing all different things that I did throughout the year, personally, professionally, everything. And I scrapped the video because I did not feel like joining that circle of recapping all that I did. And it just, it wasn't where I was. And I'm not mad at the people who have done the recaps, because I'm watching some people's recaps and been like, oh wow, they really did a lot this year. That's amazing. I'm happy for their businesses. I'm happy for them on their personal levels. All their journeys that they're going through in their life is amazing. But I just felt like for me this year, that just wasn't for me. And, for me to produce a video like that. So I decided not to. I decided not to put that video out because I had everything ready to go. And I am going to focus more on well-being and whatever that means. If that means connecting more with loved ones, if that means connecting more with extended loved ones, then that's what I'm going to do. Because well-being is so underrated. I think you guys know I'm a huge advocate of therapy. Therapy is number one on my list for 2026. I've been going to therapy, love it just for the maintenance of it, but I definitely have not kept up with it on a regular basis. So what I'm going to do for 2026 is to definitely get that as part of the regimen. It's just going to be part of the bills. You know what I'm saying? There's so many places that are doing specials now, online. Just Google online therapy or telehealth or whatever, and you will find a plethora of businesses and great therapists and all that sort of stuff. I have cleaned out my social media. I have unfollowed a lot of people, businesses, and things that just don't uplift you, or it's just like a lot of games and a lot of, just foolery. That I said, you know what, this is not me. I'm all for having a good time, have a good laugh. I love to laugh. Anybody who knows me, I love to laugh. I love a good, hearty, my side is cramping type of laugh. And having a good time with great friends and family, great food and drinks with people who really get you, your tribe, your vibe. But I'm definitely going to be more intentional about that in 2026. Well, going forward, not just in 2026. And speaking my mind on certain things and not just sitting back and being quiet about things, because when you don't speak up about certain things, people think that this is what you are cool with. And sometimes you have to be vocal about what you will tolerate and what you won't. And a lot of times people don't want to say things because they don't want to disturb the peace, but not saying things and not speaking up on things. And I don't mean being rude. I'm saying standing on business about what you believe in and keeping energy around you that builds you up, that puts you in a positive space. Just no room for the negativity. People often stay quiet to keep the peace, but I truly believe that staying quiet and not standing on business disturbs your peace because it's unsettling and it's something that that type of vibe you don't want around you. So I definitely am being much more intentional. I've already done it quite a bit already, but I'm going to be even more intentional with it going forward. And if it's a vibe that I don't care for, I'm out. That's just what it is. And that goes for personal, that goes for business, and everything in between. Um, I think it's just the smartest thing to do when you're looking out for your well being. And, there's no more excuses for putting your head in the sand and not knowing the basics of things in life. There's just, we can no longer say, well, I didn't grow up like that and no one taught me. That's okay. You may have grown up not knowing certain things. You may have grown up not being taught certain things. But in this day and age, we are in 2025, 6 more hours until we turn into 2026. You got a smartphone in your hand because that's how you're listening to me right now. You have a you have a Google, you have Alexa, you have all these different outlets to be able to learn and grow. There is no more excuse to be misinformed. There's no more excuse to not know the basics of things to take care of your mental health, your well-being. There's so many free tools that you have in your hand. If you have a smartphone, you have the world in your hand, literally. We cannot be this. Some people just live in just ignorant, you know. I don't know, somebody said this, I'm trying to remember who said it, and I don't want to say the wrong person, but I saw this, and the individual said it's like the pandemic has made us we've seen a side of people that we didn't know that we would see. All of the shackles came off. We saw people's less than perfect and less than pretty and less than, put together type of life. Yeah, it's like we saw the less perfect version of people. The shackles fell off, and we saw a lot of things that weren't the best. It's like people's ugly attitudes and the way they really felt. The keyboard bullying was turned up 10 notches. Everybody was home, so nobody's really out and about, and people just talk so much crap, about other people online, and it just seemed to ratchet that up tremendously. And I don't want to be a part of that culture. I never really was a part of that culture to begin with, but I don't even want those type of people following me, just in my space at all. So yes, I did a huge cleanup of my social media actually a couple months ago. And I don't even want those sort of folks even following me. I don't care about the numbers. I don't care if I have 10,000 followers or not or whatever. Like, I'm not interested. People sometimes just have a whole bunch of folks following them because of the numbers. If you are into foolishness and stuff like that, I don't even want you following me on social media. I don't want that 6 degree of separation connection at all. I think that we have seen enough negativity at the highest levels in this country. We have seen negativity within family. We have seen negativity amongst friends. We've seen enough, and it's time to repair. It really is. It's time to repair. And part of the way that you repair is to start to prune away people. It's time to prune away negative thought processes. It's time to prune away things that are not lifting you up, things that are not bringing you into a positive space, things that are not edifying to God. Why would you stay in this negative space when you know whose you are? You know who you are, and you know whose you are. You know, you can't keep a lot negativity, or negative space around you and claim to be, on assignment. You know what I mean? Where God put you on assignment. God is never going to put you on assignment in a negative situation. He may give you strength to deal with that negative situation, but he's never going to make something negative. You know what I mean? What he will do is take a crazy situation that you're in and give you strength to deal with it. But he'll never hand you something negative to push you into negativity. No, he will hand you strength so that you can navigate that negativity that has somehow seeped its way into your life. And listen, but we have to be well to do it. You have to get your wellness together. And that means your mental wellness, your physical wellness, all of that. All of these things jive. And if they're not jiving, you start to see other pieces falling apart all around you. And it affects your personal life, it affects your business life, all of that. I know that I have a large following of small business owners and entrepreneurs. Listen, it's going to carry over into everything that you do. So, well being for me, and, anything that has to do with positivity, those are going to be my focuses going forward. And it may cause me to lose business. It may cause me to lose friends. It may cause estrangement in family, but that's okay because, again, and I've said this before, excuse me, I'm on assignment. I've been on assignment for a long time, and I never knew what my assignment was, but I'm very, very clear about what my assignment is. So anything that I do that has to do in my personal life, anything that has to do with anything in my business life is going to reflect that. And I'm not going to be silent about a lot of things that I've been silent about in the past because I was afraid to rock the boat, So you will learn more about me. I'm a pretty transparent person already, but I think that with mental health, and anything having to do with well-being, you have to be truly honest and transparent with yourself as well as others, because you could be that light that somebody needs. You know what I mean? So anyway, we are literally 5.5 hours. Like I said, if you're on the East Coast like me, I'm in the tri-state area. So if you are in that area, we will be hitting midnight in about 5.5 hours. And I wish you guys the best for the new year and beyond, not just 2026, but going forward. And I hope that this message resonates with you. I really hope that it does. And my podcast will be back in 2026. I will be back in a few days with another update and let you know the new things that are coming for my business in 2026 and anything else that, I think would be helpful to my community. No gatekeeping, I will definitely be sharing a lot more going forward. Okay, so hopefully you guys are doing well. I am doing well. It's freezing cold here in the Northeast. My God, I don't even know if it's 30 degrees outside right now. Last night, the wind chill was 0, which kind of like, ooh, we haven't had cold temperatures and snow like we've been getting in the tri-state area for many, many years. So I'm not even going to complain because it's actually kind of nostalgic. So Happy New Year to all of my listeners and my supporters. I appreciate you guys so much. Every time I open up my podcast and I say thank you for listening, thank you for returning to hear what I got to say. I don't know if it's resonating. I don't know, what it's doing, but hopefully the fact that the listenership is doing well, I guess I'm saying something. So, but I appreciate you guys so much. Happy New Year. Be well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.